Hello, you are listening to Between Sets. This is Fuzz.
Mike.
Mike, on back to Mike. How are you?
I might not even start doing like actual words. I'm just gonna announce.
Oh no,
myself.
I need a co-host. I don't want to be just interviewing a minion at this point.
I mean, if I can turn it into like a recognizable thing, then I might go the way of like Cher, lose the last name, just become a noise.
Just a noise. That would be Elon Musk's new kid, I think. Just a noise of some sort.
Yeah.
Just the dial-up tone. Imagine trying. How do you spell that, please?
Usual way.
That was my best attempt, by the way. I'm not sure if that came across. How are you, mate? How are you?
Good. It's been one of those weeks this week. You know how it goes. Just stress. It's fine. It's good.
Yeah, I'm still adapting big time. This is our first week where I have had Ted, my son, Thursday and Friday. So normally I'll just have him on Fridays, and it's quite nice. Like, I know when you have a child, you sign up to it, but having him 2 days in a row full on is quite intense. And today he's not been the best little child, and it's just exhausting, mate. It's exhausting.
And is this you're trying to get stuff done for your current ventures alongside all this as well?
Oh no! Like if I have him in a day, it's all about him. I don't want him thinking that I'm just constantly on my phone or away.
Okay, that's fair.
It's just it's stressful just because it's just managing a child. It's the toughest job you'll ever have. I definitely couldn't do it full time.
No, I can believe that. I mean, my wife, she's a teacher, and I've said multiple times I could not do that job.
No,
like I just hear some of the descriptions, and in my head I'm thinking it's frowned upon, but I'm not above kicking a child. Can I say it? Like some of the stuff she talks about, I'm like, no, not okay.
But today, I normally go on a Monday to this like farm place with him, where we just feed goats and stuff. But today it had to be moved because the normal woman was she had COVID. Anyway, went on a Friday, and it turns out everyone obviously has Fridays off because there was 40 kids with at least one adult each, and just trying to feed goats and horses and ducks, and it's just like, this is a fucking madhouse. Like, it is
madness.
Stressful thing.
It
was on a Monday. There's literally 3 of us.
It's like a fairly small, like petting zoo type situation.
Basically, yeah. It's just like, get me out of this place.
Yeah, so that. Well, the animals must be loving life.
The thing is, wherever we go, I don't know what it is. It's obviously still the stereotypical life that we live in. I'm always the only dad, and I think 50% of them probably assume I'm gay. Because it's just like, why is this dad here? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but it is a bit. That's weird, though. It's a strange thing to think of. Like, I guess like modern day living, like you should assume it's like a 50-50 split, right? But
you'd assume
in all fairness,
it's always. But, I don't know the last time where there was just one dad with their child anywhere I went.
Yeah.
Since Ted's been born, it's weird. It really is weird. I just want to rewind. There's nothing wrong about being gay, by the way. I don't want people to. I still want people to assume that I'm gay.
It's just it's interesting. It's the fact that you're conscious of it as well.
I'm not fully like. If people thought I'll just go along with it, mate. To be fair,
yeah.
I've got no friends. I might as well make some female friends whilst I'm out and networking.
Yeah, whatever works.
Should I go try on some clothes?
Yeah. So, I mean, last week was, well, I mean, I didn't cover anything that I had listed. You know, I've been asking people for questions, and then we really didn't get around to answering any of them, really. So I've done a few bits and pieces.
Should we spread them out? Are we going to have like a fitness section?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't think people want to listen to this for just fitness. I think, well, from what I gather, I mean, I have more confidence about people listening to your voice again.
My voice?
Yeah, there were people going
abroad. More compliments.
Yeah. They love it. Like, they don't ever see you in the gym, obviously, but you know, they've been on a plane. So
what do you mean? Obviously, like I'm never at the gym.
Well, you're early. Your regular shift pattern is an early bird. So you wouldn't have seen the majority of
Have
the
I got to start
population,
doing meet and
basically.
greets in the middle of the day? Have I? Is that my
Yeah,
thing?
might be getting to that stage, but yeah, maybe just doing like little audio snippets of people like saying like "Happy Birthday" to their mum or something.
Like,
Could be a
oh,
little,
shall I ask
could be a little
CBeebies if they want
earner.
to do a bedtime?
Yeah, like
If they
reading
want to do a
bedtime
bedtime
stories.
story.
No, but his description was
Good night, little child.
his voice is just so smooth. Coming from a guy,
Smooth.
yeah, coming from a guy. That's the
No homo. No.
no homo. But there you go. Yeah. So there you go.
Who's
I just
that
thought
then?
I'd like to pass
Is it
on
the
the
same
feedback for
guy?
you. Quite possibly different to the guy that you're thinking of, I think. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah, just in love
Fun
with your
times.
voice,
Look,
apparently.
the thing is, I've always hated my voice. So now you've given me some confidence there. I'm not going to shut up.
No,
Oh, anyway, drinking coffee again at fucking 7 o'clock in the
dude,
evening.
go to bed.
But then you'd be doing this by yourself.
No, we're doing this for
There'd be
like
no, there'd
45
be no
minutes. You can
smooth voice.
just avoid slumping over on the desk for like 45 minutes, and you're good. It's never 45 minutes, but we live to dream, you know. So some fitness
Yeah.
questions that have kind of come through over the past 2 weeks. I'll put it that way. Um, number one, I'll be interested to see what you think about this one, knowing you're about to go into the field, as it were. Um, just a general question on correcting people's form. Now, I don't know if this means specifically for PTs correcting form or just the general public. I think what they're after is kind of from public to public, if that makes sense. So general gym user,
How you approach it? Is that what
how
they're
to
sort of
approach it,
asking?
and I suppose if you should approach it. To be honest with you,
No. That's my
honestly,
opinion on it.
yeah, I would agree. Um, I think unless someone is genuinely about to hurt themselves, like something seriously about to go wrong, then
Hmm.
essentially leave it alone. Um, because the other person could be very much nervous in the gym. That's number one. Um, and whether they're doing something horribly, horribly wrong or not, and this is coming from a PT, I generally don't approach people to tell them they're doing something wrong. That sounds really bad, but a lot of times when I've done that in the past, you turn around and it's not taken aboard anyway, so you may as well just save your breath.
Yeah.
But
I
coming from a
think
member of the
most
public,
gyms.
mm,
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
yeah, more often than not, when I see people, members of the public correcting other members in the gym, they're actually telling them to do something completely wrong. Um, so unless you're 100% certain and you think they really need your help, I would just leave it alone, personally.
Yeah. I think there's like most gyms nowadays, they advertise personal trainers.
Hmm.
And that's what you're paying for. You're paying for that service of correcting your posture and your form.
Yeah.
If people aren't willing to pay for that, and if people want to go their own route, then I think that's up to them. And that's only because from a public to public as well is that they're not qualified.
Hmm.
So providing incorrect information could seriously hurt someone.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, generally speaking, it might not be look like malicious intent, but they think they know, and actually, it's going to cause more issues than it's actually worth.
Believe it or not, there's a
Um,
lot of personal trainers out there that I think they know, and they still. Do you know what
well,
I
this
mean?
is the
So
thing.
it's one
There's
of those
people that are
things.
technically qualified who are horrendous, to be perfectly honest with you. But not being judgy, just saying again, we've kind of spoken at some length in terms of personal training standards. From my experience in the country, I don't think it's the
In
PT's fault
in the country.
in the
Sorry,
country.
carry on.
Um, I think it's the fault of the course, honestly, because if you had no knowledge of gym training, I think we spoke about this earlier in the week, and you did your level 2 and your level 3, and you went into personal training people. That course, in theory, should give you everything you need, and it just doesn't. It really doesn't.
Yeah,
I
no,
think you need
yeah.
quite a background of training yourself to really know, and then continue to learn as well.
Yeah, it's like most things. Like I think we've said this before. I'm not sure if we've said it on the podcast, but it's like learning to drive. You don't actually start learning how to drive until you've passed your test. And it's the
Hmm.
same with a lot of. It's like my wife, who's a lawyer.
No way.
My wife, she's a.
There's the voice. That's it. Someone's just got a semi.
She's a lawyer, and she didn't finish studying until she was basically 24,
Hmm.
and then she's like thrown in the deep end. That's what it feels like. I'm like, but you've been studying for God knows how long,
Yeah, and
and
then you
she
got to learn
still's
how to
like,
do it.
I've only just Then you got to learn how to do it, and learn how
Yeah.
to speak to clients and all that lot. It's
Yeah,
like
I mean,
it's
some of my
mental, isn't
friends who
it?
are solicitors, they do their 3 years at university, which is what seems like the grammar of law, like what words go where and the technicalities of it all.
Yeah,
And then they go and do their
LPC.
LPC. That's it for like 2 years at a firm, basically learning how to be a solicitor in the real world, and then you can start your real job.
No, even then you got to do training. So you got to be
No, really?
your trainee for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you don't go down the LPC route, you have to do 7 years of legal. I don't know what it is, mate. It's just mental. It's just
Yeah, yeah.
mental. I
I
haven't
know
got
you
the
get like
patience
legal
for that.
secretaries and stuff like that who are technically like they've done their degree in law, but they're just learning essentially.
Yeah, learning on the job sort of thing. Oh,
Yeah.
it's just too much learning for one little brain. But the thing is like if you're passionate about it, it's like me and yourself, right? So you spend your spare time studying different fitness. Yeah, it's just mental. It really, to me, it's just like it's so
That really
stupid.
won't
But then at the
carry
same
over the
time,
podcast. Sorry, I just did a geek face,
yeah.
just for
But at the
everyone
same
not
time,
viewing our lovely mugs.
like
I mean,
today, for instance,
yeah.
when Ted was asleep, I was studying coding and how to make the most out of search engine optimization and stuff like that. I was just thinking, what like it is really nerdy, but I love it. So that's
So,
why I get a semi
it's so
over
fucking
that and
cool.
that and traitors. Anyway,
Oh God. But I mean, contrast that just briefly. So my brother is due to qualify this year as a doctor. So bear in mind, technically not qualified, but contrast that for the NHS, how short they are on doctors and staff in general. Like he's on wards
wow,
working with patients, like prescribing medication, like you're just doing all kinds of stuff you wouldn't think like someone who's not qualified should be doing. But technically, like they go in like banding as they go through their 5 year course.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, just doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Like he's told me stuff about he's done in surgery, and I'm like, you're my younger brother, dude. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, it's mental, isn't it? Like I fully respect that sort of job, though. Like
Mega high
it's
stress.
amazing what they achieve.
Oh, 100%.
I know I've
Uh,
mentioned NHS in the past.
mm.
This week, I had I gave blood on Wednesday.
Yeah, I saw your reason for that, by the way. I don't approve.
No, no. The reason why I go, and this is the reason why I do it, really, and again, this is probably another selfish thing. I should be doing it anyway, but my wife can't do it. She's tried a couple times to give blood,
Mm,
and she's passed out every time. Just like when she fucking sprained her ankle, a pussy. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But she passes out a lot,
mm.
apparently, and I'm hoping she can't hear me. So I'm doing it for her, basically. I'm just saying, look, yeah, like you can't do it, I'll do it for you, sort of thing.
You're like
But
a
then
resident blood cow.
I am a little blood cow, yes. Moo.
Milk me.
Fucking moo.
Not. Oh, that sounds dodgy.
But
No, sorry.
have
Edit
you
that
given
out.
blood?
No, I've had blood tests plenty. I probably should do. Um, I'm
Because
not convinced
basically the way
people
it
would want my blood
works,
though.
I didn't realize there was actually like a credit system. The more you give blood, like you get like awards.
Right.
I didn't realize that.
But
Anyway,
what?
because I got an
What
email this week saying, "Oh, you've given blood again. You've got 2 credits," and I'm like, "All right, well, how can I cash these in?" Like I feel like I'm in like one of those fairgrounds.
for what
And
exactly?
so if you if you do 5, you
Right.
get like I don't know, like a little golden slip, maybe to Willy Wonka's fucking factory. I don't really know.
Right.
But there's a whole credit system. And at the bottom of this list, it says your 1000th time, you get a framed certificate. And I'm like, that's 1000th fucking time. And then I'm
How
like, I'm doing the
frequently can you
maths in
give
my
blood?
head. Exactly. So I'm doing the maths in my head at this point. I'm like, right, men can only give blood every 12 weeks. So whoever's got this 1000th certificate
No one's getting
is
that.
immortal. That's 260 or 270 years old if they started giving birth when they were born. Not giving birth, sorry, giving blood.
Yeah.
Giving birth when they were born.
So every
That's a
12
different
weeks is
credit
3 months.
system.
That's 4 times a year. 1,000 times is yeah. That's
Can you
insane.
hear it? I think there's an ambulance outside.
They're coming for you.
We're talking
They
about the
want more.
NHS. They're coming for
That we flagged on their system.
yeah.
Oh God.
I hear you have more blood for me. Moo.
Oh
Um,
no.
what was I saying?
That's
Yeah,
ridiculous. That's insane.
I know. But if you don't believe me, look it up. If
Right,
you
I
go
mean,
on
I believe you, but
blood.co.uk
it's
or
like
whatever it is.
250 years you've got to be alive.
Yeah. I
What's the
don't
pointless reward?
understand
Now,
that.
somebody must have checked that at some point in time. Like, it's madness. Even if you did once a week, that's still 20 years of your life more.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't think you need to wait 12 weeks. I think that's just like obviously there's some people that will have to,
Mm.
because I don't feel a single thing when I walk out of there. Like then you make you wait for a little while and make you eat a fucking biscuit, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but I can't have gluten. She's just like, oh, you're just gonna have to wait a little bit longer then. It's like, what?
They're gonna
I
give you
just
like
want to
some
go
orange juice or
home.
something.
I just can't be asked. Like,
I mean,
I feel absolutely fine afterwards, but I understand there's some people that don't. Like, I eat a lot anyway. I'm a big
mm.
guy, so
I
I'm
mean,
fine.
I can weirdly, I can relate this this giving of blood situation back to bodybuilding in a weird sort of way. Um, so have you ever heard of bloodletting?
Like, you're renting your blood out.
No, bloodletting. But yeah, I see where you're going. But like, so essentially, when people use anabolics, part of what it does is, and why your blood pressure ramps up, is it increases the amount of red blood cells in your blood, basically. Um, it's kind of like increasing like the amount of fluid going through a hose, so your blood pressure goes up, like the pressure on the walls of your blood vessels goes up, right? Now, to counter this, clever little sausages, bodybuilders being what they are, try to give blood frequently, and they kind of get told what you get told. No, it's once every 12 weeks or so. But to help manage their blood pressure, they need to get some of this blood out
Oh,
frequently, right? There's some gnarly videos. I mean, really bad. I'm talking people just cutting a vein in their arm and just letting blood into a bucket. I don't know if we need to put some kind of warning up for this, if it's going to like trigger people. Sorry.
well, it's their
No,
imagination that
I've
that's
apologized. So
gonna.
there you go. It's fun.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there you go.
You
The
don't even
more
have
you
to do
know. Yeah, bodybuilding facts with Mike. Tune in for more.
that. So why? So that's mental, isn't it?
That's insane.
Surely that's gonna impact their gains, though. No, I don't really know how that works.
No, fine. If anything, it's actually, I'm going to phrase this really correctly. The benefits to their body are good because their blood pressure is coming down. How they go about it is not good because they're causing themselves
No,
physical harm, right?
that's mental. It's the first I've heard of that.
Yeah, no, these videos exist. I mean, there's other ways
They
they
might
could
as well
go
just
about it to kind of regulate
yeah.
things, but yeah, just a hose of blood into a bucket,
The
basically.
NHS could benefit from that as well, though. They could do it like, right,
A
are you a
100%.
bodybuilder?
If you took that blood and gave it to old people, they'd have a lovely time. They'd be grateful of that a day.
Fucking Popeyes.
Yeah, you'd have these
Um,
randy 80-year-old men rocking about.
um,
Oh,
well, how
anyway,
long is this list of yours, by the way? How long is this list?
I
I'm
mean,
curious.
I'm going to go one more, and then I've got some other ones where we can go into a bit more like serious stuff, I suppose, if you like. But the
All right,
next one,
because
I'm gonna
gashing your wrists is just not a serious thing.
I'm gonna let you answer this one, because technically you're going to be qualified. So,
Yeah.
in your opinion, how important is warming up and cooling down? Discuss.
It depends what your goals are.
Go
So
on.
if you're just bodybuilding,
Hmm.
I don't think as important as if you are going to be doing a lot of cardio. So let's just say you want to just jump on that treadmill for a whole hour and run 15K or whatever you want to do. If you don't warm up before that, then especially if you're doing that 3 or 4 times a week, then you're just harming your body. But
Yep.
bodybuilding,
Yep. I would
you're
agree.
going to agree with me.
Oh yeah, I agree completely.
Oh,
And
let's
yeah,
pass the test.
I like the logic. It's good. Yes. So it's exactly that. If you're about to go and do some like high intensity cardio specifically, I mean, if you're about to go for a long run, then just kind of do some dynamic stretches beforehand. Do a little like just a brief warm up because your body will naturally warm up as long as it's a lower intensity anyway. Like your body will gently accustomized to it. Your heart rate coming up, your breathing it comes up as well. If you're about to jump in and do some really high intensity work, like circuit class, like where I do a metcon class, yes, you should do some level of warm up before you do that. It's essentially get blood flow into your muscles. You want oxygen flow around your body via the blood, and you're kind of encouraging, you're protecting your joints as well, essentially, especially if you're doing a lot of impact stuff like jumping around, all that kind of thing. But yes, exactly that. In terms of bodybuilding specifically, in the case of our sessions, we basically go through like a lighter set, and that's more, you're looking to feel how the movement feels essentially, and work through it that way. Powerlifting, again, you don't want to go into similar to high intensity work. You'll if you're going for a top end weight, you want to build towards that. You want to make sure the muscles that you're going to be using are ready to do that, whatever lift that happens to be. Um, so yeah, I mean, some people kind of use the logic of where you don't see lions limbering up in the wild before they go chase a zebra. But lions do also, they sleep a lot, they stretch, they look after themselves. So if you keep mobile,
Mm,
you're far less likely to tear a muscle. If you're then just you have to go into
yeah, like lions aren't sitting down on the sofa for 5 hours a day.
correct. They're active, they walk about a lot, they stretch all the time. Like even if you see house cats, they're just sleeping, recovering. They'll stretch, but then if they need to go and jump after a bird in the garden suddenly because one appears, they're good to go. You know,
Mm.
similar sort of situation. That's what we.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it there for fitness stuff. I think that's a good little segment. And it's actually we provided some useful information. Now let's get some nonsense.
Yeah, yeah. We're trying to get that right balance. So I'm half asleep still. I'm trying to take in
Just
your
slurping
information
down
and just
coffee as
like
is,
I am, and I've already drunk a cup.
which I will
Oh, I
say
need
is
to get a
pointless because you're
coffee
going to
machine.
struggle to go to sleep now, and then we're establishing this vicious cycle of you not sleeping properly again.
I know. Look. I know. I'm not eating my own dog food at this point. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm still trying to adapt to this lifestyle.
Hmm.
My dogs are loving it though. I'm not sure if you saw
I
my
saw the video. Yeah,
stories. If you follow me on Fuzzy Logic, but so obviously when I had a job and I was happy. I'm joking. When I had a job, I was driving two
yeah. You
hours a
fucking
day.
timed that perfectly.
Yeah, I know. I was driving 2 hours a day and I was listening to podcasts. And now I'm like so behind on podcasts. So I thought, well, I need to start walking the dogs more,
Hmm.
and just to kind of get listen to those pods. And yeah, the dogs are just loving it, loving life right now.
Oh, that reminds
Anytime I
me.
can,
Shout out to
yeah.
Don. He likes to listen to our podcast as he's walking his dogs. There you go. He actually has
Oh,
it on a
nice.
loudspeaker as well, rather than through headphones. So hopefully, some members of the public will hear
On
this.
loudspeaker.
Yeah, yeah. He puts his phone in his pocket
To
and
be
his loudspeakers
fair,
it up. Yeah.
why don't we do that? Why don't we rent one of those like cars you can get with the big speakers on? Just play our podcast through London.
I'm not sure where harassment falls within that, but yeah, we absolutely could do.
Fuck
You will listen to
it.
me.
Yeah, just get a big bodybuilder in the back. It'll be fine. No one's gonna fucking touch us. Um,
Do you know
that's
any? Or
crazy. I won't lie to you. Like, I want to keep us listener. I don't know who Dom is. Dom,
Don? Yeah, you know Don.
Don.
You filmed
Do I know
Don.
Don? I filmed a lot of people.
Yeah, specifically in,
uh,
in one of my sessions. Yeah,
oh, that's Don.
that's Don.
Oh, that
Yeah,
was the other one-to-one. Sorry, hi Don.
yeah.
Um, where are we going with that? But, yeah, people listening to music on loudspeaker when they're
Hmm.
walking or when they're in shops and stuff, or on a train. Like, I feel like the purge, right? There should be some sort of rules where, like, if someone's doing that, you actually have the right to kill them, or not. Not that's a bit too far. You have a right to punch them in the face and then kill them. You've
Jesus,
got to get some
I didn't
enjoyment
think
out of
you'd
it.
feel so strongly about that.
No,
But just
oh,
to
it just does my
clarify,
fucking
like
nuts in.
our voices being displayed on loudspeaker is perfectly acceptable.
That's fine because I have a smooth voice. Apparently,
You do.
I feel like I should go on to like Jazz FM.
No one said anything about my voice. I
No,
knew I sounded shit, but yeah, just
it's
reconfirming
because
that.
you. Yeah. To be fair, you didn't have a voice for a little while.
That is true. That is true. I find I don't know if it's since having a COVID thing, but I lose my voice more often now.
Is it all the boot camp? Now you've stopped that for a little while. You might get your voice back.
I don't know. Like, yeah, maybe. I shout a lot, I suppose,
You
which I
don't
think
really shout at the
surprises a lot of
gym.
people. Because no, I don't shout in the gym. I tend to try to keep myself to myself, to be honest with you. But yeah,
Meh, meh.
Eh.
I don't know where we're going with that, but yeah, I would recommend headphones for people that are listening to us. Just saying. I
You
don't
can
know. Do you know
really
what I
get
mean?
the binaural effect of Fuzz's
Yeah,
voice. Going from left to
yeah,
right.
exactly.
And,
That. I
yeah,
can
yeah.
get really close to the microphone if you really want me to, and just start
Oh
like
no.
send in weird words you want me to say. I don't know if my voice is that nice.
There's
I don't know.
there's this woman on TikTok, and she's got a stereotypical kind of like Southern drawl type American accent.
Yeah,
Um,
Tennessee.
yeah, yeah, that I don't even think she's from there, but like that sort of area. My geography is great, um, and people just send in random words for her to say. Just
Oh,
it's just
really?
it's just really entertaining. Yeah,
It's like an OnlyFans for your voice. That's a bit weird, isn't it?
I mean, if people pay for it, then make the
To be
most of it.
fair, that's what celebrities do, isn't it? What's that called? Cameo. I'm not sure if we've hit that point yet.
They
People are going to
record
start
things for
paying
people and
us.
send them out. Yeah, yeah,
Like, can you wish me a happy birthday, please? I'm lonely. Just be like,
yeah.
Happy birthday.
Oh God, that was in me.
Was that right in your ear? No, everyone's gonna
Oh,
everyone's gonna be like, actually, I take that back. His voice is
that went
fucked.
down my spine. Oh,
In a good way, or
I mean, I'm not complaining.
I've had
What's
I've had better.
what's the other video thing they like to do? Where again, I've come back to food, but like, is it mukbang? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I don't understand that, and I know you want to do this. I know you want to do this because it involves food.
Like,
But
well,
yes, it's
people watch other people eating tasty food. I am all about that.
mukbang. I think is basically a gangbang in McDonald's, isn't it? No, I'm just joking. A mukbang is basically a podcast where people eat.
If I can
Is
sit in the
it?
corner with a McFlurry, like, fine. Just
Which
saying.
one are we on about now? Which one are we on about?
Oh no 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 no. Oh,
What was I going to say?
I don't know.
Between plates, we were gonna discuss that, wasn't we? Remember
We
from the
were.
last podcast?
Hmm.
I'm not sure if that was a serious request. No, I can't even
Oh
talk
no,
now. A
he'll
serious
Sean will
request.
be all over that. Yeah, he's well up for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's messaged the podcast
Mm.
suggesting that we should interview people that have like quite uh, unique views politically, or just basically like flat earthers or people that are protesting. But I don't think that's the right way to go. I
If
did. I
you want,
basically what my response was. I
mm,
can't. I don't have enough time in my day to edit out all the c words I'll be using.
yeah, I mean, I think people who know me from gym life, who, to be honest, are probably the ones that are listening to this, probably know me as quite a calm person. However, if you try talking to me about astrology, horoscopes, psychic, anything that is just bollocks, basically,
Oh,
I'm
that's not a
going
bad
to call
shout
you out
though.
on it.
Before we like start getting like stop oil protesters on, we could just get somebody who actually believes, or who they are psychic. Maybe get a psychic on. That would be quite a good shout. I won't lie. Okay, maybe not. If people they're listening,
It
Mike's
really depends
face.
if you want to see someone get verbally attacked on a podcast, to be honest with you, because I just can't.
Oh,
Like, if my issue is if you believe something and you keep yourself to yourself, fine, crack on. I put that in the same category as religion. Like, if you're going into
oh yeah,
a place of worship, that's absolutely fine. Crack on. Whatever you want to believe is you believe. And if you believe you're a psychic, again, fine. I'm not going to say that you're not or anything else. You can believe what you want to believe. But stereotypically, psychics are not just psychics privately, are they? They set up, they charge people, they will.
yeah.
Right.
But
And
then at the same time, I think they allow people to grieve and they allow people to um, have hope. So it's one of those things. It swings and roundabouts. Like I'm in the same boat as you, mate. I'm just open
I
minded.
would go the other way with it and say it's fraudulent and they're taking advantage of suffering people.
Yeah, yeah. It can swing both ways.
In the same way that you get human smugglers and human traffickers taking advantage of people who are in very bad situations, selling them a glimmer of hope, and then selling them into slavery and sex
I
trafficking.
think the episode would be quite like awkward, wouldn't it? Like, I'm not sure. Like a lot of people like awkwardness, but when there's like awkward scenes on television, I have to turn it off. I just can't stand it. I just start shaking. I'm like, I
I
can't.
get it.
I'll just pause it. Just, do you know what I
I've
mean?
never been able to rewatch The Inbetweeners. I think it's
Yeah,
hilarious, but I've never been able to rewatch it. I can't deal with
it's
cringe.
so
Yeah,
awkward. Like
yeah,
even parts of Modern Family, I'm just like, I can't watch this anymore.
yeah. I need to
Everyone,
watch
like
more of
people
that.
that
I've seen clips
my
of it. I never got
mates,
into it.
my mates who actually know me, not just for a voice, um, they think I am just like the dad.
Which one's the dad?
Uh,
Sorry, with
I'm
Sophia
so bad with
Vergara.
names. No, 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 not the old guy.
I was going to
Jesus
say you
Christ,
wish.
the guy that's got. Oh, see, I'm so bad with names. I mean, we're in season fucking 7, and I
The
still
guy
don't
with
know
the
any of
black
their
hair and he's got
names.
like 3 kids. Yeah,
That's the one. Yeah,
yeah, okay,
the real estate guy.
yeah.
Everyone thinks because he's quite into tech, isn't he? He does like videography a little bit on the
I
side and
think you're beyond quite into tech.
beyond.
I've seen yes, you're beyond quite into tech. I've been in your house. It's
Oh yeah,
madness.
yeah, yeah. You came
When you
around this week.
described some stuff before, and now I've seen it in person. It is okay. So just to give you an idea, Fuzz's house is the type of thing you wander in, and there's a command for everything, and the house just listens in. You know that episode from The Simpsons with Pierce Brosnan just controlling the whole house. Well, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to
Did
wonder if
you?
you might be your house.
I am.
The real
I am
Fuzz
the
is
house.
buried in the garden. You're actually a cyborg.
It's like The Haunting. Is it the film where the house comes alive? I think it's The
Yeah, yeah,
Haunting.
yeah.
Yeah, that's an old one, isn't it?
The haunting in some place.
Something like that. Yeah.
Haunting in Connecticut.
Um,
That's it.
there's even like a sensor on the gate. You know, the gate that you came through. There's a sensor, so it
Is
pings
there?
me that someone's. Yeah, it pings me when someone's coming through
Oh,
the
dude, that's
garden.
what you've got a doorbell.
I know, but we've got dogs. So we try and remove the doorbell situation because as soon as the doorbell goes, that's it. The dogs go crazy.
Well, this is why
So
I
just try
knocked.
and yeah, yeah. So we just try and
So,
avoid that. What?
okay. You just want to make sure that nobody figures that out and where you live, because I could really wind you up with this.
Potentially,
I
but
mean,
it's all
every
on
time I walk
camera as
past now,
well.
I'm just gonna open your gate.
It's all I can see who's doing it. It's not an issue. But like, it isn't because like I don't want people thinking that I'm doing it because like to show off or like, do you know what I mean, or an attempt
Oh
to
no,
be the
no,
next Iron
100%.
Man.
Because you
It's just for
undersold it.
productivity reasons.
You undersold it when you say
Undersold
no.
it.
Hold on. You say productivity reasons, but you've got different settings to control the different lights in your house with voice commands.
Yeah, because I can't be asked to get up, so it's laziness as
Right.
well.
Okay, that's not productivity. That's laziness. Just to clarify, I've got a light
Because I'm
switch.
too busy doing other stuff,
Oh yeah.
like like I don't know, watching TV.
Doing your spare time voice acting, apparently.
It's just handy. What's good as well. Before the Echo was a thing, like people probably won't even believe this. Before Echo existed, I was really shy. I didn't really like talking. Like it was, yeah, but but
Got a
now I'm talking to
podcast.
machines. Now I'm
Yeah.
talking to machines constantly. I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
all of a sudden I'm just out my box a bit,
Yeah.
out
No,
my
fair.
shell.
Yeah. I did say this. I did say I was going to specifically try and drag you out of that a little bit in the gym as well.
What's that? My shyness.
Forcing you to talk to people,
Oh, I'm
like in the
happy with
gym,
that.
essentially. Yeah,
As
I
long as
think
they're machines, I'm
well,
fine. No
you came in outside of your regular hours, your regular routine, and I think you've kind of seen a glimpse of that already, haven't you?
Yeah, it's really weird because like you kind of used to seeing the same faces.
Hmm.
Like this morning, I've seen the same guy probably for about a year, over a year now. And if you know me, all I wear and all I own is Project Rock stuff,
Hmm.
like Dwayne Johnson's stuff. And he's always wearing Dwayne Johnson stuff. And I've not said to him like,
Oh, I can't think of who that is.
I don't know what his name is, but he's in when I'm in.
Right.
Because you very rarely see that in this country because they're not really sold in shops and stuff. But
Mm.
yeah, and then this morning, like he just walked past me because normally he's working out, so I just thought I won't bother. It's a bit weird. What do you say?
Hmm.
And then he walked past me this morning, and I was just like, I swear, you wear the same fucking shit I wear every single time I'm here.
Hmm.
And then we got talking, which was really weird. He was just like, yeah. I love Dwayne Johnson. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yep.
I love Dwayne Johnson too, but I didn't want to, like, do you know what I mean? Be that guy.
And now you're bros.
Yeah. Let's be friends.
It is weird though, and that's the stereotypical meme of guys in the gym. Like women are way better than us. They find anything in common. Like, oh, you've
Yeah.
got shoelaces on your shoes.
But in a gym
That's a
environment,
conversation. Whereas
yeah.
we've got to stereotypically kind of just nod in passing for a minimum of a year before we eventually go, right? And then it's at least another 6 months before you might actually string a sentence together.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a confidence thing or not, but for me now, I am very, like, since being self employed, I'm 100% a people person because obviously it's all
Hmm.
about networking now, and I have to
Yep.
obviously get customers and clients, and like my face is my brand theoretically.
Hmm.
So like the next person I'm a dick to, you don't know what the implications are going to be.
Yeah, I mean, there was a business study done. Well, it's fairly old now, but it's based on what you call touch points. So you probably come across this like your negative and your positive touch points, and it takes roughly 10 positive touch points to get the equivalent of one negative
Yeah,
in terms of like reviews or like people actually. So you could have 10 really good clients, but it will only be one of those that will actually say try and refer you to someone else. Whereas you get one negative, they'll probably tell 10 people that you're shit.
it's exactly that. Yeah, there's just no point either. And like I've always been quite a positive person anyway. There's no point just purposely being a dick towards someone.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm like the opposite. Now I'm just like, even when I'm walking the dogs, I try and make a point of just saying good morning or good afternoon. I'm that guy now. I'm that guy that people are trying to avoid. That they cross the street to get away from me.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, I'll be pretty friendly in the gym. To be fair, like I'm, like we kind of gone back to like asking about form and stuff. Like, if someone asks me a question, I'm not gonna say that'll be £10. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll help anyone
Just
to an
walk around
extent.
with a card reader. Yes,
Well,
please.
well, that's one of the first lessons I learned from Alex Hormozy. Always be ready to accept payment.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
for what?
For business purposes, like if someone comes in randomly and I've got a random hour off and they say, "Oh, are you doing anything at the moment? I've got time. Have you got time for a PT session?" Like, yeah, here's a card reader. Go. I do actually have a card reader in my bag at
Oh,
all times.
nice.
Yeah.
I am surprised. I'm not sure if you can actually. I don't think you can.
Hmm.
I'm not surprised why phones don't accept card readers. Like phones should be card readers by now. Surely to God, they
I
have it
think
all
there,
built in.
I think there is a function for that, but I think it operates via like a QR code style
I know you can
dealy.
do phone to phone, but
Hmm.
not like card to phone.
There should be a
Anyway,
function that
so
because if imagine if you were trying to do like a bank transfer situation, right, and you had a metal card in your like phone case or whatever with a QR code on it. I'm going to stop talking because this is a business model. Also, our little request.
oh
She
yeah, that
is,
was a request, wasn't it?
yeah, she
Pussy
is making an
Patrol.
appearance. Big Gingy. Hold
Yes.
on.
But how do you
Just to
interview a
just
cat?
to give you an
That's
idea
one
of how
more.
big this cat actually is, like very long.
Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
that's a
She
lion.
she is bigger than both your dogs, genuinely.
Look, I
Hi.
know my dogs are small.
Yeah.
That
Um,
is a tiger.
oh God. Yeah, she's got very sharp
How
claws as
much does
well.
she weigh?
Uh, last time we weighed her, like 7 kilos.
Oh, okay, she's actually smaller than my schnauzer.
Yeah, cats will generally be lighter, but she's just long, as you can kind of see.
But how do you
Well, this
interview
is.
a cat? That's what I'm more because there's a few requests.
Hi.
Can she meow on demand?
Um, no,
Because people
they're
listening
stubborn.
now, they just have to imagine this cat on your lap. I
Yeah,
guess
well,
that's not really hard to imagine. I guess is
subscribe to our
it?
YouTube channel. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Jesus Christ, she's
big
flashing
Gingy.
as well. We'll have
Hold
to
on.
blur that out.
Yeah, but there she is.
So what's her name?
Nova.
Nova.
Yeah,
And what's the reasoning behind that?
look how long she is. So funny story with her. So she is a rescue cat. She was, so it's my wife's brother's friend who owned the house, and she was basically
She
living
couldn't
in the
fit in it, I
garden.
bet,
Oh God, cat.
because she
She was
couldn't
living
fit in
in the
the
garden
house.
underneath a slide, basically. So she was, she's mega
Okay.
skinny, but we basically got told we've got this cat living in our garden. Do you want to come? Do you want a cat, basically? We were told she was a boy, and it wasn't until we got her home, and like a day later, she happened to roll onto her belly, roll onto her back, wanting a belly rub. I was like, I don't think this is a boy. Yeah. So originally, she was called Ted the cat.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah,
That's funny.
and we at the time we were watching Line of Duty, so we were going to name her Hastings after Ted Hastings, and we could have kept the same name, but then it just didn't feel right because she is actually a girl. So then, yeah, Nova came about. I'm not sure how, but
That
and then
doesn't
there is.
really answer my question still. Why Nova? You've
I don't
completely
know.
deterred that
I don't
into
know, but it was just a
actually it
bit of
was
a.
Ted.
I was just giving you a bit of background, really.
The
Um,
background.
yeah,
But no reason
Ted,
why it's Nova.
Ted the cat was actually a she, so now it's Nova. I don't know where it came from, but then
It would be weird.
we've got another little black cat, and her name's Comet, which is obviously linked, space themed.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to link things like that, haven't you? It's a bit odd if you've
Hmm
got one called like Nova and the other one called Molly. I don't know. Is that a cat's name?
Jesus, this wasn't planned either, by the way. She just decided she must have heard your voice and come running.
Yes. It's quite a smooth voice, apparently. Anyway, talking about business ideas, right?
Yeah, go on.
The other week, I took my son. Sorry, I know I talk about my son a lot, but my life is just my son and tech. That's it, and going to the gym.
Yeah.
That is it. That's what you're listening to,
I mean,
guys.
that's what people tune in for us for, right? It's just random chats about our
I'm
lives,
not sure how
which are not overly
many
interesting, but here
parents.
we are.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many parents listen. I don't know. If you want more
I think
parenting
you.
stories,
Yeah.
but there's a class that I wanted my son to go to. That I took him to, and it was like learning how to ride a balance bike. He's got his
Okay.
own balance bike. He's got his own helmet and stuff, but he just doesn't really like going on it. And I was thinking this
hmm
might help. And it was £9, right?
Right.
£9 for half an hour, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Talk
they
to me.
provided you with balance bikes,
Yeah.
but we bought one anyway. And theoretically, all they were doing was just going around this hall for half an hour on their balance bikes. And I'm like, you've just charged £9 each to
Yeah.
do this. This is mental. And what I'm
Tell you
thinking,
what.
I'm like, people are turning up to this though.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, when it comes to kids, people pay for mad stuff.
it is mental, yeah.
Yeah.
And today it was only £8 to spend 2 hours feeding animals and picking up their crap. Like,
Mm.
I'd rather do that than spend half an hour out the house, because that's what you're doing. You're just trying to get the kid
Yeah.
out of the
Yeah.
house and socialize.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to give them some sort of social skills that I still struggling to experience my age. Like, do you know what I mean? But it's really hard to, because they're parents. Like, for some reason, there's some parents out there that just don't really like their kids. They just always intervene. I'm like, just leave them to it. They
Hmm.
will. They will. Do you know what I mean? They'll work it out. Like, even if they're snatching off each other. Have I lost you? Oh, you just went all weird all of a sudden.
Yeah,
How's
I
the
think the
cat?
cat lent on something. Yeah, I don't know. She's doing something.
uh, the
This
cat.
is what we
Oh,
get.
this is gonna. Your cat has detached your microphone.
Is this working?
It's working, but it's a completely different microphone now. So
Oh,
it's
for
gonna take me fucking
fuck's sake.
ages to edit now.
Oh
Oh,
god.
Nova, what's happened?
Oh shit.
And now your headphones have fallen out. This
Um,
is the reason why people shouldn't own cats.
I don't know what to do now. What if I go?
Is your
What if I
what did
unplug and
you?
plug back in?
That's what she said. Yeah, go on then. Oh, what's happened?
How's that?
It's the same.
Motherfucker.
It's fine. It's fine. It is what it is. People, there's a backstory now.
Oh well, enjoy sound quality going bollocks for the rest of this because you wanted a cat. I'm blaming the listeners.
I don't know if the listeners will be impacted by it. I don't know. But
Meh.
now my voice will probably just come across more smoother
More smooth.
compared to yours.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, business ideas. Right.
Hmm.
So rent a hall for half an hour and charge everyone £9 and give them a bike.
Brilliant.
That's on my to-do list for the year. Oh, what else we got here? I got a whole list of stuff. Oh no, what I wanted to talk to you about, especially after last week's podcast,
Hmm.
I've seen quite a lot of TikTok come up on people's opinions on what they would do is if they won £1 million or if they won £1 billion,
Right.
and what they would do going forward, like how their life would change or how they would make their life change. And so that's going to be my question for you: is if you won just £1 million, right,
Yep.
today, what would the rest of the year look like for you?
Largely no different, except my mortgage payments would be significantly less, if non-existent. And then I'd probably get rental properties.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Right.
it. Like my
This
life,
is kind of
£1 million is unfortunately not life changing. No, it is life changing. That's not fair, but
yeah.
it's not lifestyle changing immediately, in my opinion. You've got to make that work.
No, especially if you're doing what you love to do,
Mhm.
then like for instance, your wife, for instance, I've never met her. Like if she loves spending time with her kid, like at her classes, then she'll probably continue doing what she's doing.
Yep.
But if she's always wanted to do something like start her own business or open up her own nursery or I don't know, something like that, then
Yep.
obviously it gives her the opportunity, doesn't it?
It gives
And I
you
think
freedom.
that'll
That's it.
yeah, exactly that.
But
But then
a billion pounds.
yeah,
Genuinely, I don't think most people would be ready for that kind of responsibility
no,
because that's what it is.
it's
Like
mental, isn't
that
it?
level of money. That like I don't think people realize how much a billion is. Right. So it's something like if you had £1 for every second, I think it's something like £1 million is like 3 years or something like that. That sort of read, or
Yeah,
a pound a minute essentially. But you equate that to £1 billion. It's something like 3,000 years. Like it's
yeah,
astronomically different. But you can essentially do anything with that money, even if you just left it there. Like that's generations worth of money that will sit on.
yeah.
Um, but it can do some serious harm as well. It really can.
This is it. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, the lifestyle that you live and like you just all of a sudden get like take advantage of it. A bit like these billionaires from last week. Like obviously they've got like cleaners and chefs and all that lot, and it's just I'd have anxiety. I know it's £1 billion, but I'd still have anxiety going like, is my income higher than my outcome?
Yeah. I think you'd be so hard pressed to be able to spend £1 billion in a lifetime, unless you're doing like really stupid stuff, like going buying like $20 million houses or whatever it is, just to get through it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But outside of that, I think that's generational wealth.
Yeah. There's one thing that I've always wanted, and it is just a basketball court in my garden. That's all.
I don't
like,
think
I'm
you should
hoping I
ever
can
play
still
basketball
achieve
again.
that. Probably not, but like as long as it's in my property, then
Yeah.
it should be okay, right?
Yeah, well,
But that's all I've wanted ever in my whole life since since I was like 10.
yeah.
Like I'm hoping that's quite a sustainable goal, I would say.
I mean, I think so. You just get a reasonable garden and then
Yeah, just stick a basketball
tarmac
court in.
over it,
Maybe
basically.
just a half. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
That's pretty achievable.
Um,
What I
but
mean,
I wouldn't want a yacht. I wouldn't want to know what to do with a fucking yacht.
nah,
It's just a fucking.
nah.
It's
I
just a label, isn't it now?
Yeah, this is it. And this is the thing. Like, my wife loves watching things like Made in
My
Chelsea.
wife?
My wife. She loves watching things like Made in Chelsea, right? And these people are. I know it's all staged for cameras and stuff like this, but they are so up themselves. And if those are the types of people that you suddenly end up interacting with when you're rich, I would rather just have the money and not tell anyone and just kind of go about my life in a.
This is what me and my wife has always. Why can't we just say my wife?
We can't. No.
No, we can't now. We've said this. Yeah, we've said this. If we won the lottery, we wouldn't tell anyone. Not even family.
No.
We would obviously be quite generous during like Christmas and stuff, and we might like just pay off mortgage or whatever to our parents. That's it, and then we'll just continue living our life as normal.
Yeah, I agree.
What
completely.
annoys me,
It changes. It changes how people view you. I think.
Yeah, if you're especially if it's too public, but she went out and she bought tickets to the Euromillions the other day. I'm like, you've never done that. Why have you done that? She's like, oh, it's 133 mil. I'm like, well, what the fuck's the difference? What's the fucking difference? It's the same odds theoretically as it was 2 weeks ago, and it was just what 80 mil. You weren't happy with 80 mil then? Oh, it's not enough.
No, but now, if we win that extra £53 million, oh wow, here we go. That's
an extra yacht.
Yeah, yeah. This is the thing.
Just like, really,
the way I look at it is like when you look at finance is something I'm kind of interested in on the back burner, right? So I look at investments and things like this, but when you look at how people spend their money, it's largely they'll either be renting a property, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I think renting is better if you are moving around a lot. If you have the option, save up for the deposit, and if you're staying in one place, a mortgage is better because you're accruing equity and all that kind of stuff, right? But if you look at people's financial habits generally, it's buying stuff they can't afford on credit, having no leftover income for savings, and then they need to get loans out to fund their day-to-day life, and it's madness. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So if you take these same spending or poor financial health habits and apply it to more money, you've got the same problems. And you see this a lot with people who win the lottery because they don't change their habits, their spending habits, their financial knowledge. They burn through money at a rapid pace and then they're done. This is why the lottery had to put things in place to offer them financial advisors and give them money, so on, over a certain period of time. The one that I'd actually like to win, if you can win a prize, there's the one where you win, it's £10,000 a month for
every month
for your life. Now that is life changing because you cannot spend your way through that. I mean, you can get cars on finance and all that kind of stuff, but the very worst case scenario, you're never going to get more because you have to wait for the following month. So you can't ruin it.
Yeah, that is perfect because it makes your life more sustainable and you don't turn into a dickhead overnight.
100%.
Yeah, I have to admit, I was quite guilty of that. And I think people have to. It's a bit like a lot of stuff in life. Like you need a wake up call. But I was very much like, look, I've got a credit card. I might as well utilize a credit card, knowing that I'm going to get an income anyway. And then obviously that then sets a habit without you even knowing. And then you end up just spending more money and more money on that credit card.
Yeah.
And it's just like gaining weight, for instance. It's like you need, like, people just need a wake up call, and then you realize that actually your calorie intake's always been extremely high, and that's the reason why you're going to continue gaining weight. And so then you hear these stories about, it's crazy. These stories about these people that can't even leave their bedroom because they can't fit through the door, and I'm like, that's mental.
Yeah. No,
Like, how does that even happen?
Well, I mean, on that, just quickly, I mean, how are these people getting food? People are buying these people food and keeping them bedbound indefinitely because they are constantly buying the amount of food that these people need to stay that way.
Expense of it as well.
Like, that's abuse. It is. Like, if these people can't get out of bed to go and get food, how are they staying that weight? They can't be.
It's just unbelievable.
I'm
like, we're trying to be quite financially sensible this year. Like we've not been for the last few years, to be honest. So we're really like every single expense we're trying to validate now. And it is like, it's hard, like it is expensive just to eat normal food. Like, do you know what I mean? Just alone. Like, obviously I need to hit my 200 grams of protein a day. Like that is expensive.
Yep. There's no two ways around it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, you can buy meals for cheap. They're not healthy. They're not good for you. Being healthy is expensive. You know, even just down to a gym membership. A lot of people can't afford a gym membership, really. Okay, you can go out for running and stuff like this, but food is a necessity. And if you want to eat healthy, okay, you could probably get away being vegetarian or vegan, I would say, relatively cheaply. But your protein will be lacking because vegan protein sources are not cheap.
No, it is. It's the protein side of it, really, isn't it? Like, it's like you're looking at like £4 for lunch, £4 for breakfast, and easily £5 for dinner.
Yep.
And then obviously you got the snacks in between.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Consistently as well. Not easy.
Yeah, it's not.
It's really not easy. But I mean,
not easy.
I know people, like, financially, for example, who will finance everything, like down to a coat, for example. Like the finance a coat, which is far too expensive for them, but these little finance payments, or the buy now, pay later thing, I think that is the most stupid fucking idea. Like, just save for 3 months. Like, if you
it's a good idea from a business aspect.
Oh, 100%. Like, they're loving it because they're charging interest on that as well. But if you don't have the resilience and the patience to save, I don't know, £20 a month for 3 months, or you can't save £20 for 3 months, why are you tying yourself into this coat you want to buy and pay over 3 to 5 installments? It makes no sense. It makes zero sense. But I know people that they'll do that, and these buy now, pay later things, they start to tick up a little bit. It might be like a few games, it might be like a new phone, coats, all this kind of stuff, and suddenly half their monthly income is going on items.
This is it.
Then they get something go wrong.
That's something
like the car goes wrong, and they have to sell some of the items that they're still financing. And I know people that have done this. They sell the items that are still financing to pay for the repair on their essential item, like a car, so they can actually get to work. That's madness. It's insane.
Yeah. Like, yeah, that's quite an extreme level, isn't it? Like, I've been quite guilty of doing the whole, like, especially with my phone, for instance. Like, obviously, people buy phones through a contract normally, and what they don't realize is they pay interest on that phone, and then they also pay for the service. So if you're going to buy a phone from, like, I don't know, 3 or O2 or whatever, it's like, I don't know what the average is. The average is now like £50 a month, which I think is unbelievable. But then over 2 or 3 years, I think they now set up to 3-year contracts because of how expensive these phones are. But you've actually for £1,200 phone, you're actually paying over £2,500 for after those 3 years. So you're better off doing a 24-month buy now, pay later, which a lot of people offer with no interest at all.
Yeah.
And doing that, and then, but the thing is, then it's almost like a gateway drug. You're in there, then you're like, oh, actually, I'm only paying £50 a month. That's fine. Then I'll put a TV on there as well, and I'll buy a new sofa, and I do kind of understand it. I do, because
they make it easy
if you're smart about it, as in, like, from a customer aspect, like if you actually kind of open up an Excel sheet, you go, right, this is still my income. my luxury income, that's what I call it, is after all my outgoings and after you've saved X amount, this is how much I've got each month. If that's sustainable, then fair enough, because
Yep.
at least then you've got the stuff there and then you're happy now, and you haven't got to wait 3 years to get a new sofa.
Yep.
Fully understand
Yep.
that. But
And that's
it
fair
is a
enough.
gateway drug.
But that same logic that you just applied there, so income minus outgoings minus savings leaves luxury expenditures, right? That doesn't exist for some people. They will go income, they go luxury expenditure first, then they go their outgoings, and savings is non-existent. And if you try mentioning investments, that's just like, why would I do that?
Oh yeah.
Because there's no immediate return on that.
I think if you're renting still as well, if you're renting a property, I think investments definitely needs to be quite a priority. Because obviously, when you own a house, your investment is your house theoretically.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
That's the way I look at it. Because like, there's no way if I retire, like, I know I'm saying this now, like I'm 30 years away from it.
Yep.
But my plan is just to sell up the house and just rent somewhere, because at least then you've got all that cash in hand and you can just enjoy your life.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not a financial guru or anything like that, but so houses are typically seen as an investment because you're sinking money into it every month, but they're actually like you've got your two columns of asset and liability. Houses are a liability technically, because if you suddenly can't afford to pay your mortgage, that house is getting taken off you, and you will get essentially what equity you've accrued in there, but you're homeless essentially.
Yeah, but then you could sell up that house before it gets to that point. Like, you should hopefully be in a position where you're like, actually, I'm not going to be able to afford this house in a couple of months. Let's sell up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, in theory, and that's kind of falls within what, like, good financial advice. What they talk about is building that safety net, that safety bubble of, and this is a mega luxury. Essentially, it's like between 3 and 6 months of your monthly income you should have as savings just sitting there, and that's not invested. Admittedly, you're kind of losing money in terms of inflation with that money, but that's for the cases where someone loses their job literally overnight because they get sacked, or they hurt themselves, they can't work, depending on what job they do. But then they can still cover their house until they sort something out.
That's living the dream.
If you
I
don't,
think for most
100%.
people, that is living the dream.
Absolutely. Yeah. But if they suddenly can't work for a month, they miss a mortgage payment, that doesn't go anywhere. It accrues. And you can talk to your mortgage company to put a pause on and stuff like that. But it just builds,
One thing that's been quite a, I don't know how this podcast has resulted to finance.
I like it.
Well, poor finance advice. But one thing that has given me peace of mind over the last few years is income protection. I'm not sure. I never heard of it before this. But yeah, income protection is quite a good piece of mind. Never had to use it. I don't know if I'll ever have to use it. But it's really good. Like, if you lose your job, if you become ill, or if you break something.
Yep.
And that's your employer.
Especially important for you now that you're self-employed. So anyone that is self-employed, if you don't have income protection, just go out and get it. It's not going to give you your full monthly pay that you would normally get, but it's hopefully enough to keep you going, basically.
Yeah, it's just that little bit of peace of mind. With the anxiety of being self-employed, like, I know I'm quite new to it, and it will definitely die down. Like, I'm extremely proud of myself for the amount of clients that I've had and managed to gain within. Like, technically, I've only been unemployed for a week and 2 days, so it's not bad. Like, I'm building websites for people. I've got a photo shoot coming up. Like, I do a range of things. Weird thing is that it was so hard to get insurance for this, because every time I explained it to the insurance company, I'm not sure if I mentioned this last week.
Yeah.
But they're like, "So what do you do?" I'm like, "A bit of everything, really." It's like, "So you're a videographer?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I also build websites, and I also provide systems and simplify administration." They're like, "Oh, I don't know if we're going to have insurance for you." I'm like, "Can you just point somewhere that kind of, like, even if I have to pay for individual insurances, I need insurance."
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's really hard. I didn't realize how unique it would be, but I guess hopefully that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, you're covering a lot of bases essentially, which is a good thing. But you are right. It's very anxiety inducing. I think you've got to be a certain type of person to be resilient enough to do that. I mean, I had exactly the same thing last year, kind of unexpectedly made redundant. Again, obviously, I've been a self-employed PT alongside that, so it's not like I had nothing to fall back on. But suddenly, backs against the wall, you've had a sudden drop in income. It's like, okay, well, I could crumble here and have to go and find another job, or we just step up a little bit. We've got to think our way around whatever obstacle it is and
Yeah.
just put things into place. And I think it comes in bursts as well. Like I kind of a wave of inspiration probably late last week, and I'm now starting to implement in terms of like a new project where, um, you get like I'm trying to build up like a bit of a community essentially where everyone's doing the same program at the same time in the gym, but then they can talk to each other, they can come in, train with each other. They've got a mechanism
Yeah,
for
you got
getting
to change it
feedback.
up every now and again.
Yeah, it's and it might not work, but it is what it is. It's relatively easy for me to set up, and if people enjoy it, great. That's a new
This
it's
is
a new
it.
thing.
It makes it interesting for you, and it makes it interesting for them. Like
Mm.
if you just did the same shit every single day, you might as well just get a 9 to 5 job. To be fair.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's part of the challenge of it, and that's why it's enjoyable. So if you can tolerate the anxiety of being self-employed, not knowing where your next paycheck's going to come, it can push you to really have to think. And I've certainly been way more creative in terms of what I do since I've been fully self-employed. Like you've really got to, think on your toes and keep things moving. Essentially.
Yeah, it's just being comfortable enough financially to make that call
Hmm.
and being driven enough. Obviously, there's a lot of people that prefer 9 to 5, and I completely respect that. It's better from a family aspect. It's, if you're wanting to have kids soon and stuff, you need that security. Fully respect that, and I would do the same, and I have done the same. But it's for me now. It's like right, I want to live that dream now.
Hmm.
Like I've got all the experience under my belt. And I just want to crack on with it. And I'm so excited. It's just having the time of the day, man. Like I'll crack onto my computer at 8 a.m. and then before you even know it, it's 6 o'clock in the evening.
Yep.
And I'm like, what has happened today?
Yep.
Like I've not. I think is I put too much on my to-do list every single
Yeah.
day, and that's my fault. But it's just like I know that there's a few things I can maybe carry over, but then when it comes to carrying over to the following day, I'm like, I feel like I'm failing myself. Do you know what I mean?
So my only advice to you there, from having kind of been there, I would say, and I definitely went down that route of spending every waking moment trying to perfect stuff. What I would say is try to prioritize things that earn you money. That
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah,
So it's all well and good having all the systems in place and all the rest of it. But I found things for me really took off when I started focusing on actually PTing. Like to begin with, I was splitting my attention across too many different things, like social media, trying to get online coaching going, trying to do this, trying to manage the gym, trying to wear a lot of hats, basically. But what really took off was when I went, okay, well, let's get really good at PTing, because that's where I'm earning my money, not from posting on social media, trying to impress people who may or may not see my posts.
this is it.
That's
Yeah,
an
But
added
obviously
thing.
I've not.
But
Yeah, now I've got multiple clients. It's going to be that. But
Mhm.
obviously, I've thought to myself, well, I've got spare time in my day.
yeah, you're trying to fill
I
it.
might as well utilize it.
Yeah.
I might as well utilize it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in order you want your processes down. So like my process with PT, all my and this is relatively tech savvy for me because I don't normally like it, but like all my finances are automated basically. Everything takes care of itself. I don't have to touch it. I look at my accounts maybe once every 2 months or so to keep things up to date.
Wow.
Everything takes care of itself essentially, and that kind of frees me up to then focus on the bits I'm actually good at. It'll be a similar kind of thing for you. Admittedly, the work you're doing to earn you money will be different, but yeah.
Yeah. And then, one thing to end on. I know it's been an hour now. I'm not sure when people listen to this podcast, but so I need to do my final level 2 exam next week. I don't have to do it next week, but I want to do it soon. I'm literally, if you're listening to this, I'm literally just after one person who wants to be trained for free. I think, do they have to be a member of Snap Fitness in GNS?
I mean, you can probably figure it out. It's not a problem.
Yeah. But if you want a free session with myself and Mike, because Mike's going to be my client for this, it's just going to be a 45-minute recorded exam group sort of session, basically. That's really it. If you're interested, please, hook us up. Drop us a message, and let us know if you're free. Tuesday morning would be ideal, and we'll post it on the socials over the weekend as well. If anyone is free, just let us know. We can get a free PT sesh from my smooth voice. I'll be like
In me.
10 reps. You wish I was in you. Right, we'll end
Jesus.
it there. That's too much to end it on, isn't it? Anyway, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. We'll I don't know if we've got a guest next week, but we'll try to get a guest.
Yeah, that one's on you this
It
time.
was going to be, it was going to be your cat, wasn't it? But I think
She's made an appearance and ruined the podcast, so such is life. She's got a habit doing shit like that. She smashed a glass last week. I'm not sure if you saw that one.
Oh no. Yeah. So if anybody knows a psychic, please let us know.
I do. I do, and I just
do you?
Yeah, no.
Oh, that'll be good. That'll be good.
Nice person as well. That's the thing. I just want to leave it well enough alone on that one. But
I'll be careful of what
if
you
anyone
say,
knows a dick of a psychic, send them our way.
They'll probably see us coming. Anyway, we'll have a good weekend. We'll see you next week with a psychic, hopefully. A psychic or a cat. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Well, thanks for listening. Follow us on Instagram. Share across all your socials if you're listening. And right, yes. I was going to talk into the microphone closely then and say goodbye.
God.
Anyway, right. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.